Hi, well, thanks for joining us for the Q&A of the Alabama Home Builders Association session, as well as for attending the session and several throughout the past few days. We thank you for your time and being with us. We do have Kenny Allen, Corey Bowling, and Eddie Hardy is filling in for Joel. So we have those three gentlemen here to answer your questions. So we'll go through and answer the questions that you guys typed in within the platform, the CTE Inspired platform, but also if you have any questions, just go ahead and put those in the chat here as well. And then at the end, we'll make sure to give you the code that's required for you to fill in so you can get credit for attending this session. So we'll just get started. And I think this question will be for all three of you guys. The question is, you mentioned that one of the hardest part of construction is getting employees to show up on time. So how can we do a better job of teaching those skills and motivating them? So Kenny, I'll let you start with that question.
Well, first and foremost, students have to have some self-directions, first and foremost. The thing that we can do as instructors and teachers, etc., is to meet the students where they are in terms of in the classroom when they're in high school, and then let them know what is expected of them once upon entering the construction field in terms of being on time, being responsible, being dependable, all the above, because usually students being immature at that particular time, they don't know exactly what to be expected of them once they enter the construction field. So certainly going out, talking to career tech programs across the community, letting the students know what will be expected of them upon them entering the construction field.
Corey, what are your thoughts?
Similar to what Kenny said. But one thing that we've kind of found out that, and it's brought up a little bit in the video, is, the students that are going through these programs, they've already made a commitment to what they want to do. I mean, whether it be masonry, heating and air, whatever it is. So they've already made the commitment. So they're a little bit more, I hate to say it, kind of more professional in a way than just, somebody coming off the street. And, but it's an issue, and, I wish there was an easy answer. But, again, those that are coming through this program, they've made the commitment, so they're going to be the ones that they're going to show up. They're going to want to do the right thing, and but yeah, it's not an easy answer, but I wish we could answer it. So
those that are going through, Mr. Hardy's program or Mr. Allen's program, or those that earn the certification that you guys are issuing, those individuals are already put themselves out there to be a step ahead and showed initiative, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
And so employers that see that should be more willing to take those individuals on, because they can recognize that they've already at least done one more step than the next person to be employable.
Exactly.
Mr. Hardy, what about you? How do you try to instill that into not only, just the HVAC skills that you're teaching them, the technical aspect of things, but how do you try to instill some of those just life skills in them as well?
Well, I have to agree with both gentlemen that it starts with clear and concise rules, regulations, what's expected of you, because not only in the HVAC world, not only are you installing, but you're in front of a homeowner. And, it's like you said, the soft skills, you have to know what to say, how much to say. And, that's, like Corey said, that's not always easily addressed. And it's something that you just have to learn over time. But with them making the commitment that they are, they are ahead of the game in that aspect.
The next question was, and I'll throw this out to both Kenny and to Eddie, is for your masonry program, Mr. Allen, do you guys offer scholarships or funding for out-of-state students?
Actually, the school don't per se, but I do. I seek grants. I apply for grants, and this past year, we was able to receive at least $80,000 worth of grant for scholarship. So to answer your question, is the school don't itself, but I do because I apply for grant money for that, for this particular program in order to give the students scholarship, whether they be local from out of state, to help them and defray the cost.
If you do have a question that you weren't able to get into the CTE Inspired, just as a reminder, if you weren't able to do that in the CTE Inspired platform, then go ahead and chat that in this Zoom platform. So if you have a question that you want to ask now, just chat that into the Zoom. How about you, Mr. Hardy? What kind of scholarship or funding opportunities do you have for your students that want to attend your program?
Well, right now at the moment, unfortunately, we don't have anything available. That's not to say going forward or in the future that there might not be something available, but at this time, we just don't have anything available.
Okay. Let's see. This one I think is for well, there was one question, when will the certification be available? So we are still working on some of the preparation content. If when you were listening to the session previous to that, both Mr. Hardy and Mr. Allen are going to be working on creating some new content from a preparation standpoint. We're actually going out to Alabama next week to go to Mr. Hardy's program and get him and his team on camera for some of that prep content. Our goal is to have this up and running for individuals to start taking part in mid-October, but we'll definitely keep you up to date on that. COVID has kind of put a hit on us getting out and shooting a lot of content, as COVID has impacted everyone, and much more, I hate to even complain because I know that it's hit everyone, but it's kind of delayed the process just a little bit, to say the least. But we'll keep you up to date when it's actually going to be launched. And again, the goal is mid-October. One question that we had is, where do you see the future of residential construction? Corey, and I'll let you start with that.
Well, I don't know about, how the industry is doing in other parts of the United States, but residential construction in Alabama is doing pretty well right now. And a lot of it is just the interest rates. New home construction has been going fairly well here. We mentioned in the program, we have a lot of industry in the state of Alabama. We have, I think it's 3 car plants within the state. Of course, down in Mobile, Baldwin County, we have ports. So we have a lot of industry that's helped residential construction in Alabama. I work with a lot of remodelers within our association. And at the beginning of COVID and everything with remodeling was kind of, it was, stopped. They didn't know what to expect. They don't want to have a kitchen remodel when they don't know what's going to happen, a month or 2 down the line. Well, now remodeling has really picked up because people have been in their homes for a month or 2 now, and they're like, you know what, we really need to do this, or something they've had on the back burner for a while. So here in Alabama, the residential construction industry is going fairly well. And like I said, it's a lot of it's the interest rates, but hopefully that'll continue on.
And Mr. Hardy, I guess your programs, students, and they recognize that as well, and your programs are full with individuals?
Absolutely, that is correct. And a matter of fact, even with COVID, the construction is still doing great. Our industry is still growing, and nationally, not just Alabama, but nationally, we are still facing a big deficit as far as HVAC personnel and being able to meet the needs of the home builders. So this is vital to us in our growth.
Mr. Allen, how about you?
The same thing. I can only speak from a masonry perspective. The masonry contractors are staying real busy in this particular area as relate to residential construction work. And there's a shortage, as the gentleman said, across this state in terms of masonry workers. So it's good. In fact, it's great.
We did have one question that talked about, and obviously this is being issued by the Alabama Home Builders Association. So we have folks on here that are from all across the country. So they were asking about, are these going to be recognized in other states? And so our certification team, they're looking into other associations that could possibly sign on to offer these within the state. So that is something that is in the works. Alabama was just ahead of the game and decided as their association, this is what we're going to do because it's a need. And they dove in and are issuing this certification. So kudos to Alabama and that association and to the two other gentlemen on the phone for being a part of this process, because I think that it's going to really benefit the industry and benefit individuals, not just students, but all types of individuals within the state. So we appreciate being a part of that, being the testing platform for this certification. So Morgan, do you want to put the code, the important code that each of you will need to get credit for the session here? It is, I'll read it to you, but again, it's in the chat, HBAA 034. So make sure to enter that into the CTE challenges section. So at the end of the conference, you will get your certificate and say that you attended this session. Again, that's HBAA 034. And thanks again for joining us. Hope you enjoy the rest of the day in the conference, and I hope you have a very safe and soon to get back to normal semester. So stay safe, and we'll see everybody later. Bye-bye.